Hello students, in this session you are going to learn 12th standard computer science 6th chapter control structures. The main concept you are going to learn in this session: nested loop structure, jump statements, break, continue, pass. Let us see about nested loop structure. What do you mean by nested loop? Nested loop is nothing but a loop is placed within another loop. That is called nested loop. So let us see about that. Okay. A loop placed within another loop is called as nested loop. Okay. Which means there are two types of loops in Python. What are they? While loop, for loop. You can define a while loop within another one while loop. You can define a for loop within another one for loop. Or you can define a while loop within another one for loop. Or you can define a for loop within another one while loop. Okay. So one loop is placed within another one loop, then that loop is called nested loop. Okay. Let us see one example. Here output is given. You have to write the program to print this pattern. Okay. So this is the program. So now let us see the explanation of this program. Here first given initialization. Okay. Initial variable is I is equal to 1. Initial value is 1. In this program, while loop is given. Within that while loop, we placed the for loop. Okay. So in this program, for loop is placed within the while loop. Okay. So here, first the initial value is given. I is equal to 1. Next while loop, the condition is given. I is less than or equal to 6. Check this condition. I means what? I is equal to 1. Next check the condition. I is less than or equal to 6. What is the value of I? 1. 1 is less than or equal to 6. So now check this condition. 1 is less than 6. Okay. So this condition is true. If this condition is true, then go to the next step. That is for loop. For j in range 1, I. Here the start value is given, stop value is given, but the increment value is not given. So we have to assign that step value, which means increment value by default. Okay. The default step value is what? 1. Okay. So here we have to mention the default step size value as 1. Okay. So 1, I, 1. So here write range 1. I means what? 1. Okay. 1 and step value is not given. So we have to assign the step value by default. That is 1. Okay. Here the start value is 1 and stop value is 1. So how will you calculate the end value? 1 minus 1. Okay. 1 minus 1 means 0. So here you cannot generate the list of values from 1 to 0. So this condition will becomes false. Okay. So next, if this condition is true, then you have to execute this statement. But this condition is false. So you have to skip this statement and see here. Okay. That is print end is equal to /n. /n means new line. Okay. The cursor moves to new line. Okay. So next I plus is equal to 1. I plus is equal to 1 means I is equal to I plus 1. Okay. So you have to update the control variable value. Okay. So what is the value of I? 1. That is 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. Okay. So now our new I value is what? 2. I is equal to 2. In this first iteration, we didn't get any output. Okay. So see the next iteration. I is equal to 2. Next again check the condition. I is less than or equal to 6. So check the condition. I is what? 2 is less than or equal to 6. So this condition is true because 2 is less than 6. Next for j in range 1, I. Okay. Here write range 1, I value is what? 2. And the next step value, we know that 1 because step value is not mentioned, so we have to assign the step value by default. So always write the step value here 1. Okay, so now check the condition. Here you have to generate the list of values from start value to end value. This is start value, this is stop value, this is step value. So you have to calculate the end value, that is 2 minus 1. 2 minus 1 means 1. So you have to generate the list of values from 1 to 1. Okay. 1 to 1 means what? Only one value there. That is 1. So this condition is true. Then print j. Here j means what? This one is j. Okay. So print this j here. Okay. So here write 1. Okay. Next end is equal to slash t. Slash t means what? Tab, some white space. And next you have to update one value. So this one becomes 2 because this condition is true. So you have to update the value and again check the condition until the condition becomes false. Okay. So now j becomes 2. I is equal to 2. We know that. And increment 1. What is the end value? 2 minus 1. 1. So 2 to 1. You cannot generate the list of values from 2 to 1. Okay. So here the condition will becomes false. So here stop your execution. Then come to next line. Print end is equal to slash n. Slash n means what? New line. So the cursor moves from here to here. Okay. So next I is equal to I plus 1. Okay. So I is equal to I plus 1 means what? Now I value is what? 2. So I is equal to 2 plus 1. I plus 1 means 2 plus 1. That is 3. Now our new I value is what? 3. So again check the condition. I what? 3 is less than or equal to 6. Check the condition. 3 is less than 6. So this condition is true. Then come to the next line, that is for loop. Range 1. Next I value is what? 3. And the next step value, we have to assign the step value by default. That is 1. Default step value is what? 1. Now check this for loop condition. This is 1. This is the start value. This is the stop value. This is the step value. We have to generate the list of values from start value to end value. So how will you calculate the end value? You have to subtract the step value from stop value. So 3 minus 1, 2. So you have to generate the list of values from 1 to 2. 3 minus 1 what? 2. This is the j value. Okay. Print j. So you have to print this j value here. Now cursor is here. So here it prints 1. This condition is true. So you have to continue your execution. Okay. Next end is equal to slash t. Here give some white space. And next update the value of variable j. Range. Here we updated the variable. So this one becomes 2. And next 3. And next 1. Last value is what? 3 minus 1, 2. Here initial value is 2 and last value is 2. Here we have to generate the list of values from 2 to 2. There is only one value, that is 2. So here 2 is j. Okay. This condition is also true. So j is equal to 2. So here print j, that is 2. Okay. And the next here you have to update the value by 1. So this 2 will becomes 3 and this is 3 and this is 1. So again check the condition. So last value is what? 3 minus 1, 2. So 3 to 2. You cannot generate the values from 3 to 2. Okay. So this condition becomes false. Come to the next line. Print end is equal to slash n. Slash n means what? Next line. So the cursor moves from here to here. Okay. Next line. And the next I is equal to I plus 1. What is the value of I? 3. So I is equal to 3 plus 1, that is 4. So next I value is what? 4. I is equal to 4. Next check the condition. 4 is less than or equal to 6. This condition is true. So next execute the for loop. Range 1. What is the value of I? 4. And next increment. Step value is what? 1. That is default step value. Okay. Check this condition. This 1 is the initial value. This is the stop value. You have to find the end value now. 4 minus 1, 3. That is the end value. So 1 to 3. You have to generate the list of values from 1 to 3. So this condition is true. Okay. This is the j value. So print j. J means what? Print 1. Okay. Here write 1. And next end is equal to slash t. Some white space here. And next update the value. So this 1 becomes 2. And next 4. Next 1. Here the last value is what? 4 minus 1, 3. So you have to generate the list of values up to 3. So this condition also true. Here j means what? This 2. Okay. So print j. Here write 2. And next end is equal to slash t. Slash t means tab. Some white space give here. Again check the condition. Range. Now you have to update one value. So this 2 becomes 3. And next 4. And next 1. The last value is 4 minus 1. 3. So 3 to 3. You have to generate the list of values from 3 to 3. So there is only one value, that is 3. Okay. So this condition also true. Here j is equal to what? 3. Here you have to print 3 because print j. Okay. And next end is equal to slash t. Give some white space here. And next range. Update one value. So this 3 becomes 4. 4 and 1. So 4 minus 1, 3. So last value is what? 3. So 4 to 3, you cannot generate the list of values from 4 to 3. So here this condition becomes false. Okay. Come to the next line. Print end is equal to slash n. That means this cursor moves from here to here. Okay. Next line. And the next I plus is equal to 1. I is equal to, what is the value of I? 4. So 4 plus 1, that is 5. Now our new I value is what? 5. Okay. Next again check the condition. 5 is less than or equal to 6. Check this condition. This condition is true. So go to the next line. Range 1, comma, I value is what? 5. 5. And next increment value, step value, you have to assign the step value by default. So default step value is what? 1. Check the condition here. The last value is what? 5 minus 1, 4. Here you have to generate the list of values from 1 to 4. 1 to 4. So you have to continue your execution until the last value 4 is reached. Okay. So this condition is true. A is equal to 1. Here write 1. Next end is equal to slash t. Some white space give here. Update the value by 1. So this 1 becomes 2 and 5 and 1. Here 5 minus 1 is 4. Okay. You have to generate the list of values from 2 to 4. Okay. So this condition also true. So here j is equal to 2. Print j, that is 2. And end is equal to slash t. Give some white space. And next again check range. Update one value. So this 2 becomes 3. And next write 5, 1. Here you have to generate the list of values from 3 to 5 minus 1 means what? 4. From 3 to 4. Okay. So this condition also true. So print j. Here write j is equal to 3. And next end equal to slash t. Some white space give here. And next again write range. Update the value by 1. So this 3 becomes 4 and 5 1. Again check the condition. 5 minus 1 means what? 4. So you have to generate the list of values from 4 to 4. Okay, this condition also true because there is only one value, that is 4. Here j is equal to 4. Okay, so print j, here write 4 and the next end is equal to slash t, give some space, and next update one value. This 4 becomes 5, 5 and 1. So the last value is 5 minus 1, 4. You cannot generate the list of values from 5 to 4. Okay, so this condition becomes false. So you have to stop your execution. So come to the next line. Print end is equal to slash n. Slash n means what? New line. The cursor moves from here to here. Okay, next line. And I plus is equal to 1. That means I is equal to, what is the value of I? 5. I is equal to 5 plus 1. That is 6. Okay. Now our new I value is what? 6. Again check the condition. First, I is less than or equal to 6. 6 is less than or equal to 6. 6 is equal to 6. So this condition is true. Okay. Then go to the next line. Range 1, comma I means what? 6. Next increment value 1. This is default value. Okay. Check this condition. Here you have to generate the list of values starting from 1 to 5. Okay. So this condition is true. Here j is equal to what? 1. Here write j. So print j means 1. Okay. And next end is equal to slash t. Some white space give here. And next again check the condition. Range, update the value by 1. So this 1 becomes 2 and this is 1. Again check the condition. Last value is what? 6 minus 1, 5. So you have to generate the list of values from 2 to 5. So this condition also true. So print j. J means what? J is equal to 2. So here write 2 and next end equal to slash t. The cursor moves here. Okay. And next again check the condition. Range, update one value. So this 2 becomes 3 and 6 1. Here 6 minus 1 what? 5. Starting value 3. So you have to generate the list of values from 3 to 5. So this condition also true. And so next print j. J means what? 3. End is equal to slash t. Give some white space. The cursor moves here. Okay. Next again check the condition. Range, update the value by 1. So this 3 becomes 4 and next write 6 1. The last value is what? 6 minus 1 5. Starting value 4. So you have to generate the list of values from 4 to 5. Okay. 4 to 5 means this condition also true. So you have to print j. Here write j value, that is 4 and end is equal to slash t. Give some white space and cursor moves here. Okay. And again check the condition. Range, update one value. So this 4 becomes 5 and next write 6, write 1. Now last value is what? 6 minus 1 5. You have to generate the list of values here from starting value 5 to end value what? 5. From 5 to 5. There is only one value. Okay. That is 5. So you have to print j, that is 5. Because this condition also true. Okay. So you will get print j is equal to 5. Then end is equal to slash t. Slash t means some white space. Okay. And after that check again range, update one value. So this 5 becomes 6. The next 6, next 1. So 6 minus 1 means 5. Here you cannot generate the list of values from 6 to 5. So this condition becomes false. Okay. Here you have to stop your execution of for loop. Okay. So go to the next line because this condition is false now. Print end is equal to slash n. So this cursor come to the next line, okay, and I is equal to I plus 1. That means what is the value of I now? 6. So I is equal to 6 plus 1 is equal to 7. So again check the condition. 7 is less than or equal to 6. This condition is true or not? This condition is false. So if the condition is false, then the loop will not be executed, okay. See here, this is the output 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay. So this is the way of writing program using this nested loop structure, okay. Now let us see about jump statements in Python. What do you mean by jump statements? What are the use of jump statements? The jump statements are used to unconditionally transfer the control from one part of your program to another part of your program. Which means jump statements jump from one place to another place in a program. Okay. There are 3 keywords are used to achieve jump statements in Python. What are they? Break, continue, pass. These 3 keywords are acts as jump statements in Python. First let us see about break statement. Okay. The break statement terminates the loop containing it. Control of the program flows to the statement immediately after the body of the loop. Which means the break statements is used to terminate the loop. Okay, there are 2 types of loops. What are they? While loop, for loop. In these loops, one condition will be there. You have to execute the set of statements until that condition becomes false. If you want to stop a loop early, which means before you reach the exit condition, in that situation you can use break statement. Okay. So what is the use of break statement? If you want to terminate the loop before you reach the exit condition, at that situation you can use the break statement. Okay. You can use this break statement in nested loop also. What do you mean by nested loop? A loop is defined within another loop. Outside loop is called outer loop and inside loop is called inner loop. So in this loop, the break statement is used to terminate the innermost loop. Okay. So let's see the syntax of break statements. The break statement syntax is break. You have to write the syntax of break, continue and pass statements are in lowercase letters. Okay. So let's see the flowchart of break statements. This is the flowchart. This is the entrance of the loop and next one condition will be there. If that condition is true, then you have to check the break statement. If that condition also true, then you have to exit from the loop. But if the break statement condition is false, then you have to execute the body of loop and next update the value and next again check the condition. Again the condition is true, again check the break statement condition. If that condition also false, again execute the body of the loop. Again do the same process until the loop condition becomes false. Okay. In this break statement, there will be one condition. If that condition is evaluated as true, then the loop will be terminated. Okay. And you cannot continue the loop until you reach the last value. Okay. So next let us see one program. In this program, break statements given inside the for loop. Okay. So this is the for loop. For, var, in and within double quotes jump statements. So this is the for loop condition. Next one condition is given, if condition. That condition is for break statement. That condition is what? If vad is equal to e. You have to check the letters from jump statement one by one. When the vad reaches the letter e, in that place you have to apply the break statement. Then print vad end is equal to single quotes. See here, there is no space between the single quotes. So you don't need to give white space between two letters. Okay. You can write the jump statement vad without white space. Okay. So see here, first check the for loop condition vad j. Okay. Next check the condition if vad is equal to e. Vad is what? J. J is equal to E. Not. This condition is not true. So you have to skip the break statements. Next, execute print vad. What is the vad now? J. Okay. So you have to print J in the output screen. Next, end is equal to single quotes without space. Okay. So you don't need to give space between two letters. So again go to the for loop condition. See the next word. What is the next word? U. Next check the condition, if condition. Word is what? U. U is equal to E. No, this is not true. So you have to skip the break statements. Execute the print statement. Print word. What is the word? U. So you have to print that U in the output screen. Next, end is equal to no space. Okay. So don't need to give space. And again go to the for loop condition. Next word is what? M. And next check the if condition. M is equal to E. No, this is also not true. So skip the break statement. So print the word M in the output screen. And next again go to the for loop condition. Next word is what? P. So next check the condition. If P is equal to E. No, this is also not true. So skip the break statements. Print vad, that is P. And next again go to the for loop condition. What is the next letter? S. Check the if condition. Vad is equal to E. So S equal to E. No, this is also not true. So skip the break statements. Again print vad. So print S in the output screen. Okay. Next again go to the for loop condition. Next letter is what? T. Check the condition. If T is equal to E. No, this is also false. So skip the break statement. Again print vad. So print T. And next again check the for loop condition. Next letter is what? A. Check the condition. If condition A is equal to E. No, this is also false. So skip the break statement. Print vad, that is A. And next go to the for loop condition. Next letter is what? T. Check the condition. If condition T is equal to E. No, this is also false. So skip the break statement and print vad, that is T. Again go to the for loop condition. Next letter is what? E. Check the if condition. Vad is equal to E. What is the vad? E. E is equal to E. So now this if condition becomes true. So now you have to apply the break statement. So what is the use of break statement? It is used to terminate the loop. So here you have to terminate the loop. See here in jump statement some more letters are there. MENT. But you cannot continue your execution because of break statement. Okay. So you will get the output JUMBSTAT. After that you cannot continue your execution because when you are applying break statement you have to exit from the loop. So this is the output for this program. Okay. Next let us see about continue statement. What is the use of continue statement? It is the opposite to the break statement. Instead of terminating the loop, it forces to execute the next iteration of the loop. Okay. So break statement is used to terminate the loop, but the continue statement forces to execute the next iteration of the loop. So this continue statement is used to skip the remaining part of the loop and start with the next iteration. Which means in a loop, if you want to stop at a interval, you have to use break statement. But if you want to continue, then you can use the continue statement. Okay. So now let us see the difference between break statement and continue statement with a real world example. Okay. Let's see one real world example. Then you clearly understand about this concept. Okay. Now you want to go to your office. So going to office is a condition. Okay. So this is the road. You are driving a car. You have to reach your office. That is your condition. So you are driving your car, but suddenly someone crossing in front of your car. At that moment, what you will do? You will be immediately presses the brake to stop the car. Here the condition is what? you have to drive the car until you reach your office. But before reaching your office, you are stopping your car by applying brake for some reason. After that, you don't want to continue your drive to reach your office. In this type of situations, you have to use the brake statement. But after stopping your car, again you want to continue your drive to reach your office. In these type of situations, you have to use continue statement. Okay. Similarly, in a loop, we are executing statements based on the condition. But if you want to stop at the interval or before you reaches the condition for some reason, at that moment you can use the break statement. But again you are continuing your execution until you reach the condition, then you have to use the continue statement. Okay. So let's see the syntax of continue statement. What is the syntax of continue statement? Continue. And next let us see the flow chart. First you have to check the loop condition. If the condition becomes true, then you have to check another one condition. That's condition for continue statement. If that continue statement condition is true, you don't execute the body of loop. Again go to the loop condition. Again check that condition. If that condition is true, again check the condition of continue statement. If that condition is false, execute the body of the loop. You can execute this body of the loop until the loop condition becomes false. Okay, which means until you reach the last value of loop. Okay, so next let us see the program. The same program that you have studied in break statement, but here continue is given instead of break. Okay. So in this program you have to print the letters one by one from the jump statement. Okay. This jump statement is a string. You have to print each letter one by one in the output screen. Okay. Next, if condition is given, vad is equal to e. Whenever this if condition is evaluated as true, then you have to apply in that place continue statement. Okay. So first check the for loop condition. Take the first letter J. Check the if condition. If vad is equal to e, that means j is equal to e. No, this is not true. Then you have to skip the continue statement. See the print statement. Print vad end is equal to single quotes. Print vad means what? You have to print the vad j in the output screen. Okay. So next again go to the for loop condition. Next check u. U is equal to e. No. Print the vad u. And again check the condition m is equal to e. No, this is also false, so skip the continue statement. Print the vad, that is m. Again check the for loop condition. Next letter is what? P. P is equal to e. See the if condition P is equal to e. No, this is also false, so skip the continue statement and see the print statement. Print vad, so print the P vad in the output screen. Next again go to the for loop condition. Next letter is what? S. Next check the if condition S equal to E. No, this is also false. So skip the continue statement. Next print vad, that is print S. Next again go to the for loop condition. Next vad is what? T. T is equal to E. No, this is also false. So you have to print the vad T. And next again check the for loop condition. Next vad is what? A. A is equal to E. No, this is also false. So you have to skip the continue statement and print the vad, that is A. And next again go to the for loop condition. Next letter is what? T. Check the condition. If condition T is equal to E. No, this is also false. So skip the continue statement and print the vad, that is T. And next letter is what? E. So check the if condition. E is equal to E. So this condition is true. So you have to execute the continue statement. That means you have to skip this letter from the vad jump statement. Okay. So the letter E will not be printed in the output screen. And next again check the for loop condition. Next letter is what? M. Again check the condition. If M is equal to E, no. This condition is false. So print the vad M in the output screen. And again go to the for loop condition. Next word is what? E. Next condition, check the condition. If condition, E is equal to E. Yes, this is true. This condition is true. So you have to apply the continue statement. So this E will not be printed in the output screen. Okay. So next again go to the for loop condition. Next letter is what? N. Check the if condition. N is equal to E. No, this condition is false. So you have to skip the continue statement. Print the word N in the output screen. And again go to the for loop condition. Next letter is what? T. Check the condition. If condition T is equal to E. No, this condition is false. So you have to skip the continue statement. Next print the word that is T. Okay. So again go to the for loop condition. See the next letter. No, there is no letter. So here the for loop condition will becomes false. Okay. Here you have to terminate from the loop, which means exit from the loop. Okay. So you will get the output JUMPSTATMNT. See the output except the letter E, all the other letters gets printed. So this is about continue statement. Next let us see about pass statement. Pass statement is a null statement. When pass statement is executed, it results in no operation, which means nothing happens. So it is ignored by the interpreter. This pass statement can be used in if condition and loop conditions. When you do not want to do any statements or commands within the block, then the pass statement will be executed. Mainly this pass statement is used to execute the future codes. Okay. So let's see the syntax of the pass statement. Syntax of pass statement is pass. Let's see the program. In this program, one variable is given, that is A. For that variable, you have to enter the input value, that is enter any number. And the next one, if condition is given, that is if A is equal to 0. If A becomes 0, then you have to execute the pass statement. Otherwise, print the else part, that is non-zero value is accepted. Okay. So in the output, you have to enter any number. If you are entering number 3, that is the input value. So A is equal to 3. Next check the condition. If A is equal to 0, so A is what? 3. 3 is equal to 0. This condition is true or not? 3 is equal to 0. No, this condition is false. So you have to skip the pass statement and execute the else part, that is non-zero value is accepted. Okay. Here when you are giving input value is 0, then no action will be performed. But for all other input values, you will get the output like this. Okay. That is non-zero value is accepted. So this is about pass statement. I hope now you understand well. Thank you, students.